Hi guys, this is Erica from Gokce Capital.
Now before I begin, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and turn on notifications. As a potential land buyer or landowner, you probably heard a lot of terms thrown out there. Land listing sites may refer to attractive land for sale or a lot of land. And perhaps to further confuse things, maybe you own a parcel of land whose legal description in the deed lists 2 lots, as I've seen with a couple properties in Florida. So what do all these terms mean? And what are the differences between attractive land, a lot, and a plat? Well, in today's video, we're going to cover each of these terms so that you're more informed when buying or selling land. So let's start with attractive land. Perhaps you may have heard this term used by a real estate agent or a land seller who is offering attractive land for sale. Now, what exactly does this mean? Now, in this context, I think we intuitively can guess that it means a particular segment of land that is owned by one particular seller and that is being offered for sale in its entirety. But it's important to know that attractive land is not a legal definition. Therefore, it's really just a colloquial term, and in different contexts, it can mean different things. But for the most part, regardless of the context, it refers to an identifiable portion of land or an area of land that is easy to identify and portray. So it usually has clearly defined boundaries, and this can mean official boundaries, such as meets and bounds listed out in a deed's legal description, or it can mean visual boundaries, like a stream or a fence. Often, attractive land is referring to an area of land that is owned by one owner and whose boundaries are defined in a deed, and so can be conveyed in its entirety to a new owner. But this does not necessarily need to be the case. A tract may also refer to an area that has clearly defined natural boundaries, but which may, in a legal sense, be broken up into multiple lots that are owned by different owners, and thus could not necessarily be sold altogether in its entirety. So this brings us to a lot. Unlike a tract, a lot is a legally classified piece of land. It is delineated by a public entity for the purposes of taxation and for recording sales and ownership transfers. So lots are registered in local government offices, such as the assessor. And when you're looking in Google Maps and you see outlines of parcels of land, those correspond to legal lots. A lot will typically have its own deed and thus can be conveyed in its entirety, and is clearly demarked with official lot lines that are listed out either in a meets and bounds description in the deed or in an official plat. But before I move on to plats, I just want to make one note here about a point of confusion that I often see among landowners. What can sometimes happen is that 2 legal lots may be merged into one larger lot. When this happens, there is one deed for that larger lot, and the new larger lot will be considered one lot by the county assessor, and the whole area, combining the 2 original lots, will be shown as one parcel in a county's GIS map. However, the legal description in the deed for this new larger lot may still refer to the 2 original lots. So just because a deed refers to 2 lots does not mean that you own 2 legal lots from the standpoint of the county assessor, or more importantly, for the purposes of building. So if you are a landowner and your deed lists 2 legal lots, but you are only getting 1 tax bill, you likely only own 1 official lot. And if you are under the assumption that you can build 2 homes on that property, you may want to check with the county and verify that this is the case. And finally, we get to a plat. Now, a plat is a map of an area that has been divided into individual lots. So it is created as part of a subdivision process. When a developer buys a large parcel of land, usually with a substantial acreage, and divides it out into a bunch of small individual building lots. As part of this process, a plat will be created which delineates each individual lot as well as the streets that connect all of the lot to the closest public right-of-way. Think of it as a blueprint for a neighborhood. When plats are created as part of a subdivision process, they are usually recorded and therefore of public record. So you should search for the plat that shows your individual property because it can give you some useful information about the lot you own. This information includes boundary lines. It will often list out the size of each lot shown. It'll show you all of the platted streets and the location of any easements, including utility easements and also right-of-ways or access easements. But it is important to know that a plat is not a survey. Like I said, it is essentially a blueprint of a neighborhood. Well, a survey would be a drawing of just your lot. Therefore, a survey will have more information and will likely be more accurate than the PLAT. Thus, a PLAT is not a substitute for a survey. So keep this in mind as you are doing research on your parcel of land. Are you still confused? Or do you have any thoughts on plats or lots? Go ahead and leave us a comment. And if you like this video, you're going to love our Gokce Land Due Diligence program. We'll make you a land due diligence expert in 7 days. Check it out at gokcecapital.com/glad. And while you're at our website, don't forget to explore our $1 down properties at gokcecapital.com/listings. Finally, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. You can email, call, or text, and we will respond as soon as possible. So thank you for listening, and more to come.